Hey guys, it's Slots, and today is my 23rd birthday, which is kind of insane to think about. I mean, I still feel like I'm like 17, but I feel like today I woke up and it didn't really feel like my birthday. I feel like some years it does and some years it doesn't, and I feel like this year is one that just doesn't really feel like my birthday. Last year kind of hit me like a truck, if I'm being honest. Like, I was getting kind of sad that I was like 22. And I think that's because 21 is kind of one of the last like big birthdays, if that makes sense. Like I feel like throughout your teenage years and then when you turn 21, like there's so many like kind of milestones. With like 17, you're able to get your license. 18, you're an adult now, and then 21, you could drink. But after 21, there's nothing really like that. I mean, I think at 25, I could rent a car finally, but like I don't really care about that. Yeah, so I feel like last year kind of really hit me and I was kind of getting really sad. But today I feel like it's kind of a normal day. I mean, my mom was nice enough to get me some Dunkin' Donuts, which I highly appreciate, one of my favorite things in the world. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video to kind of talk about like being scared of growing up, but also like reflecting on being 22 because I think 22 is one of the best but also not so great years of my life, but I think overall I'm just going to say it was one of the best years of my life because I think the bad turned into good. So I think probably the biggest thing that happened when I was 22 is I graduated college, which is a big deal for me. I was the first person in my family to go to college and I graduated, and it's just something I'm really proud of. And it's in a field that I'm excited to go into, and I think definitely just wrapping up my school career. Although it was scary at first, I think overall I'm happier that I'm done with it. Next, I went skydiving, which has been a goal of mine forever, like ever since I was literally a little kid, and I finally did it. I did it right after I graduated college. It was one of the best experiences of my life. I mean, I went with two of my best friends and we just jumped out of a plane, and it was so fun. I definitely want to do it again. I'm thinking about going again this summer. Next is just progress with my mental health. I think I had a lot of experiences this past year that kind of woke me up from, the bad habits I was getting myself into. And although I'm not really happy about like those experiences themselves, I was definitely struggling. Overall, I think it was worth it because it allowed me to kind of realize what I was doing was wrong and to kind of pivot in the better direction. And although I don't feel like I'm fully at the place I want to be at, I do see a change from where I was this time last year, which is a really good thing. Next is that I got a job in the field that, I went to college for, which is another big milestone for me. I mean, this is my first, job in that industry. And it was definitely something I'm super proud of just because I was super stressed about it for majority of last year. Ever since I graduated college up until that point, which was like 6 months, I was just very stressed about what job am I going to get. I need to get a good job. And I think once I stopped like putting so much pressure on it in like a way where I was like, okay, I'm only going to accept this job, I just became less picky. And I think that's what led to me getting a job. And I'm very happy with the job that I'm working at right now. And I'm just super proud of myself for being able to, push through the stress and actually like find a job that works for me. I'm happy with doing it and I can't wait to see where, my career goes, this year with being 23. And last but certainly not least, I started this YouTube channel. This YouTube channel has been one of the best things I have ever created, I think honestly, in my entire life. And that is honestly 100% due to you guys. The comment section is my favorite thing ever. Like whenever I post a video, and sometimes I'll post a video kind of being like nervous to post it, like, oh, what are people gonna think? Are they gonna understand it? I feel like I'm posting a lot of this stuff based on my experience. I don't know if people will relate to it, especially with one of my recent videos about OCD. Like I really didn't think it would do that well in the comments, but so many people were commenting saying that they relate to it and commenting their own experiences. And it was just so comforting to read all the comments knowing that like, I'm not alone in this. People are going through it. And that is probably my favorite video I've ever posted, not because of the video itself, but because of the comment section. I make these videos just to like talk about mainly just things that I'm struggling with, things I'm going through, and then every so often we'll just talk about a random topic that I'm interested in. But the fact that people are taking their time to not only watch it, but to comment it is just the best thing in the world. And it honestly is super, super helpful to me. But looking ahead to the future, I definitely am scared of growing up. And I think that's kind of normal. I mean, I talk to my friends about it all the time, and we're always joking, like, dude, we're getting old, we're getting old. And although I wouldn't say I'm an old person, right? Like 23, I don't consider old. But I think my expectations from like when I was like a teenager to where I was supposed to be when I was 23 are definitely not the same. I think I expected myself to be a lot more independent when I'm still kind of like relying on other people. And there's definitely steps that I could take to kind of work towards that. But if I'm being completely honest, I haven't. I mean, one thing, my parents were just gone for like a week. And, I was home alone with my brother and we don't know how to cook. Like, I know how to cook like four things, maybe. And, I made those four things and then the rest was like taking out food every night. So that was definitely like a wake up call where it's like, okay, like you need to start learning how to cook different things. And same thing with like living on my own in general. Like I've been living at home my entire life. I've never moved out. I never lived somewhere else. And I think I'm just like kind of scared like it's going to get to a point where it's like, okay, like you're 27 now and there's no like room for error. As you grow up, I feel like it's expected more and more that like you have to know what you're doing, have your shit together. So I'm just kind of scared like I'm going to have a lot of these like first experiences that a lot of other people have had, throughout their late teens, early 20s that I just have never had. I've talked about this in like my relationship video as well, why I've never had a girlfriend. And it's the same thing there where it's like, okay, like as I'm getting older, right? I feel like people kind of expect that you have been in like a relationship before. And if you haven't, then it's like, okay, then you got to learn so much about a relationship, which is, I think that's what I'm scared of is just like, kind of like, I guess it goes back to like what I was saying where it's like feeling behind. I feel like time is going by so much faster than I am as a person. Like, I feel like I'm not up to speed with it. But as I've said, like, I think everyone is on their own pace, their own track. And I think, comparison really is like the thief of joy. Like, I've heard that saying a bunch. And I think it is true. Like, I think all this is stemming from it's like, okay, I'm this age and this person is my age or even younger and they're doing all this stuff. And then it's like, what am I doing? But when I look at myself, right, when I look at what I've done, all the stuff that I said in the beginning of this video, where I graduated college, I went skydiving, I started this YouTube channel, I've made progress in my mental health, and a bunch of other stuff that I'm probably forgetting right now. But if I really thought about it and looked back, there's probably stuff I could bring up as well. I have grown up a lot in this past year, and I think I need to focus on that, and that's really what matters, and it doesn't matter about anything else, because as long as I'm growing as a person each and every year for the better, it doesn't matter what track I'm on, what pace I'm on. I'm growing as a person, and that's the most important thing of all. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, please consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.